collaborating with him?
Well, you know, there's the only thing more boring than, you know, writing is hearing someone talk about writing. So, but, you know, I could go on and in a kind of crazy sycophantic way about what it was like to work with him. I will say that one of the problems about working with Steven on a movie like this, the pitfalls that you can't avoid, is that every movie you reference is his. So you don't even intend to do it, you're not even thinking about it. You kind of, because you're getting into the work and you're focusing on the work, you're not looking at the, you know, oh my God, that's the guy, you know, you're just kind of like doing the thing, and you find yourself saying, you know, it's like in that, you know, it's like that moment in Close Encounters, you know, and it's like, you know, no, but it's like, you know, it's like when Indiana Jones does, you know, it's like, you keep doing it, and you're like, and then you gotta go, you know, well, the thing in Poltergeist, damn, even that one, you know, and then there are these weird things where you like, you know, reference some, you know, crazy oblique movie that he also, you know, produced, and it's like, you realize that in the world of sort of popcorn movies, especially if there's an alien involved, it's very difficult to find something that he, you know, didn't know, which was kind of wonderful for a couple of reasons. One of them was that he gave me license to do it. I was so self-conscious, I thought, look, no matter what happens, if I make a movie that's sort of in the Amblin style, it's all going to be like, you know, it'll look like it's just all he's doing is aping his films, and yet because he was a producer, and because he knows the conventions of the genre, having sort of authored so many of them, working with him was interesting, because he sort of, there were things that I felt, I didn't want to go there. He's like, I didn't invent that thing. That pre-existed me, and he would sort of reference movies that had done these things before, but his imprint is so enormous and so strong, so powerful, that you kind of forget that there were people who did certain things before he did. And he sort of gave me permission to do things that I really wanted to do, and some of which were clearly in you know, an homage to his films and you know, even, you know, films he produced. But he helped me work on the outline, and it got to a place finally after a few months where he just said to me, JJ, go write it. You know, you have more stuff than I ever did when I wrote Poltergeist in 5 days. It's like, thanks, that helps me very much. It's like, you know. Anyway, so it was very helpful in the process. And the one weird thing I will say, this goes in the heading of really boring writing stories, but just to tell you, it was a very weird thing in the outline. I didn't know when in page count, usually when I have an outline, I kind of know where it's going to land more or less on the page, you know, what the page number will be. But when Alice got grabbed, I literally didn't know where it was going to go. I kind of had the feeling of the movie, and I didn't know if it was going to be page 30, page 60, it was the weirdest thing, and it ended up being much later than I wanted. And one of the things I was wrestling with, and again, I don't think we ever completely nailed it, is that when you look at where people go, when the kid gets taken in Close Encounters, when the kid in Poltergeist goes into, you know, the TV, you know, that you kind of want that to happen, page 30, page 60 latest, you know, and this, in the first draft, happened page 90. It was like way late. And it was, again, it was sort of, I always felt like, in a weird way, the story was sort of arguing with me about sort of what it was and what it wanted to be and how it would work. And so it was always kind of a wrestling match a little bit. And the thing that was just the kind of salve that sort of took the edge off all of it was when we were actually producing, making the movie, working with the cast. I mean, the kids were, all of them, were so wonderful to work with. And I kind of thought, we're going to figure it out. And it may not be, you know, everything, but, you know, when you at least set your ambitions to a certain place, falling short of that mark, at least you got something you're going for. And I just felt like working with this cast was, you know, for me, the thing that made me feel like it was going to be okay, even if I didn't figure out, you know, my side of it. The script special I wish I had.
And you hadn't really worked with